Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen,
before further adoing, we are live on YouTube, but we're also live on Facebook. All right. So if you want to check us out on that end of the planet, you just go to our Facebook, Radio Generation Kenya on Facebook, and you'll be able to follow our live stream, or www.radiogenerationkenya.co.ke. You'll be able to follow us live.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there are so many ways you can be able to consume this amazing product. So chaguo ni lako if you want to consume it the traditional way, that is if you're listening on 88.8 or all our other frequencies, that is in Mombasa and Garissa. You can decide, you can jump if you want to see how we look. Kama umechoka kusikia sauti yetu and you want to see how the studio is looking, you can jump up or X, YouTube, or you can go to our website www.radiogeneration.co.ke. And today we have an amazing guest in studio. Our guest tonight is none other than Chris Ndenga, an architect who helps turn ideas into skylines, from shaping residential spaces to thinking through how cities breathe, move, and live. Chris sits in the intersection of creativity, engineering, and everyday life. He's a part artist, part problem solver, and fully obsessed with how good design can change how we experience the world. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and help me welcome one Mr. Architect Chris Ndenga.
Yay! Karibu sana, Chris.
Thank you.
It's
so
good to be with you. You know, Chris is also my buddy. Kuna nyumba fulani alinipeleka pale Ngang. Alikuwa amechora nyumba si nyumba. Hiyo nyumba ilikuwa moto si moto.
Fire si fire.
What projects are you up to this year, Christmas?
Thank you so much for having me. For those who don't know me, I'm Chris Ndenga. I'm an architect by profession. First and foremost, let me start by saying that thank God for being here. Thank you for hosting me. I'll introduce myself first. I work for Scope Design Systems.
Okay.
We are located pale Ngong Road. Let's say this year we are mostly into AHP.
Oh, okay.
Affordable housing.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the course of the day. It's the current affair. Also, we are dealing in 70 schools in Nyamira. As I'm the project architect with that, as well as other private residential that I've been sharing with you here and there as a project architect. Yes.
What does a project architect do, man?
A project architect, basically, maybe I can start by introducing an architect.
Okay.
Yeah. An architect is basically a mixture of art and science. We are supposed to design. Anyone can build. Anyone can construct. But you need an architect to give you a good, livable design.
Okay.
Yes.
An architect can, anyone can build, but you need a livable design.
You need a livable design.
So that's where the architect comes through.
Yes.
What if I just, niko hapo na Bashir nasema, we, tembea hivyo 4 steps. Alafu panda hivi 4 steps. That's sidestepping what architects are supposed to be doing for me?
Not really. Like I've said, anyone can, even you can build. I'm 100% sure. Remember, the dream belongs to the developer, the client. An architect is supposed to enable you realize your dream, your ideas, and relate it to scientifically principles that will make your space livable, will make your space safe, and will make your space not to be a sick building. Sorry, that's a negative statement. We should just say a livable or a sepsis environment.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I was telling Bashir the way in my... Because I've done a couple of projects za ujenzi. But to be honest, na kuconfess hapa kwa radio, saa zingine unajaribu kukata kona badala kuita architect. Kuna nyumba na nyumba fulani nililisa student. Jamaa, I think he was in school. I don't even know if it was Campo, but he was just a guy who was doing some CAD designs. And then, so what happened was, Chris, this guy went, badala kuchora nyumba yangu, sasa on the site.
Okay.
Si kuna venye mnakujanga na chalk. I don't know if it's you guys who do that.
Setting out, yeah. We help, we can help, or if you have a qualified contractor, we give them approved drawings that we've gone through it rigorously so that they can use it for setting out. We call it scale 1:1.
Oh, okay. Sasa huyu jamaa alikuja kuset ye mwenyewe huyu student. So he drew my house on my friend's plot. alafu my friend, he drew my house on my friend's plot, right? Alafu my friend's house on my plot. Na hiyo kitu iliniingiza mtaro moja deep, because now we realized when things were going up. So I've said all that to say this, Chris, is it expensive to hire an architect?
No, it is not expensive to hire an architect. Because when someone tells you the rate of construction in Kenya for an affordable housing right now is around 45,000, put in mind the cost of consultant is accommodated there.
45,000 ni nini?
Per square meter.
The cost of drawing?
The cost of construction.
45,000 per square meter.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think it's the notion, also lack of information, and then you realize architecture seems to be a foreign language, a foreign word. The first time I was telling my friend Emmanuel I'm an architect, he was calling me architecture.
Mimi?
Yeah.
Zee, I think you're talking about someone else. You can be budango akisikia nikikuita architecture atanipunja from the sweet by and by. But you have people calling you architecture.
There's so many people, including lawyers. You see, these are learned friends, including doctors. I think people perceive architecture as a luxury.
Okay.
Yet it's a necessity. The current affairs, the collapsing of structures now is necessitating people to start looking into who is in charge of this. When the authorities are speaking, when you saw in the media, the CS talking, you heard talking about the project architect, the project engineer. That's when Kenyans have started realizing, okay, it's important to have one. But we basically treat it as a luxury. It's like, if I have a Toyota, I can still travel from Nairobi to Mombasa. But if I have a lot of money, I can buy a Mercedes to do the same thing. So they are treating architects as Mercedes, luxury.
But why do you think we have that attitude?
Number one is lack of information. Number two, sensitization, which I'm glad social media is enabling right now. I'm also glad the bodies of architects are now coming up strong. Basically, those are the main issues. Because you cannot say illiteracy, because Kenya is a very literate country. Yes.
Maybe we are literate to our own
fields. Yeah.
Like we are literate paka. Sini wajuaji sana.
But I think everyone is always trying to sort of get a shortcut. Well, there you say, maybe you might have the money, but you're thinking, how can I, save up? Sort of try to...
Yeah. Kuzu jamaa kuna kitu anafanya. Jamaa anachora tu hapo hivyo. Alafu ananiambia nilipe. Like hiyo ni nini? Wacha ni tu ni by students.
I agree, Bashir. I think actually for me, the main reason which you brought it clearer is we see architects as people who draw. You find, even when you're doing a project and you are dealing with a private developer, they'll tend to pay the contractor before they pay you. They don't appreciate your value because they see your value as only papers. And architecture is beyond drawing.
They pay the contractor before paying the person who's come up with the concept.
Most developers, they really don't appreciate architects because until you realize that an architect is in charge of quality control, an architect is in charge of the safety of that structure, it is an architect's license that is on the line when a structure collapses. That's why the South Seas issue came, the first person to be called on board was an architect. There is something we call engineer's instruction. It is not even an engineer's instruction, it's an architect's instruction. We work collaboratively as a built environment team. But the roles of an architect in Kenya has been limited to nipe drawings, I take them to approval, tuachane. I'll charge you this percentage and this percentage during the design and construction phase. Unaambiwa no. Mi nataka two drawings. You get the risk that comes with that. Yes.
So when someone wants to build a structure, the first thing is they look for an architect to come up with the design, and then the design has to be sort of verified. You said it needs to be checked by someone. If it's like, so if you're building in a certain area, who's the watchdog when it comes to construction? Like who's verifying the drawing? Who's making sure the structure, is on a certain sort of standard?
I can say the construction team. Let me not go into jargon, but I'll try and be brief. What is a construction team made of? A construction team is made of the developer, stroke the client, or the employee. In this case, it varies. Like for AHPs, the government, the private developers, their institution, their banks, all those. That is number one team of the construction team. Number two is the consultant. The consultant is not made up of just an architect. It comprises of the architect as the team leader, then there is structural engineer, stroke civil engineer, then there is services engineer, those who are mechanical and electrical engineers. We also have quantity surveyors. That depends on the complexity of a project. A complex project will have more consultant and support auxiliary consultants on board. And then we have the external, how do I call them? Like you see the authority. They come but from afar. That's why when you approve a building, you indemnify them. But that is the authority, because you're not building in oblivion. You're building in a space whereby you're guided. There we have NCA, we have county government, we have NEMA, we have firefighting, we have OSHA, that is health and safety. See, it's a conglomeration of a team. I've just mentioned a team of 5. So when a design is constructed to become a structure, most of the time you realize when one of these parties misses, chances are that building will not be a complete structure. We get away with most of these things. Right now, if tremor happens in Kenya, that's when you'll realize that we cut shortcuts. A lot. We even live in houses that, okay, they sound structurally fine, but you see you have a young kid, the kid has asthma. Hey, where is it coming from? They call it the sick building syndrome. There are so many problems that we hide in that envelope of, I want to save cost of these people who just draw. So there is a lot of team in collaboration to achieve a habitable building or a structure.
So, for example, that building which collapsed in South Sea, what are the problems on the surface level that you came across?
We won't talk much about it because now it's under investigation. But basically, you'll see number one, in my opinion, I'll put the developer on the line. Also the authorities, I'll put them on the line. Number one, that building was approved with less 4 floors. But during construction, the developer did something to add 4 floors. According to the developer statements that are online and everywhere, they are justifying that they went to the relevant authority to do that. According to the project architect and the team, they're also saying the process was adhered to. According to the relevant authority, that is NCS statement that is online, including the statement of the CS, they're saying they did not approve the 4 extra floors. So number one, I'll say corruption, because even on the process of how those documents were gotten, like you see, before you get even a NEMA approval, the NEMA expertise has to come and interview and have a session, a baraza with the chief, with the dwellers of that place to even approve a building that is coming up and be honest what you're bringing into that.
The impact of this building coming through.
Yes. The neighborhood, there's a document that was done times. There's no justification of that. So you wonder, how did NEMA approve it? I don't know. Also, when you look at NCA, if NCA screened that structure rather, it was supposed to be closed down. That is what should have happened. But you see nowadays, when you pass through a structure or a development somewhere, it has just been marked X, NCA, you've been warned. But when you look closely, construction is ongoing. So you see actualization and the policing of, if you flag that building, you should enforce it to be stopped. Also, why am I putting the developer on the line here? Because the developer is on the line for having to fire a design engineer and employing someone else. I don't know their reasons, because we don't have the communication from the engineer who designed the structure to the engineer who is supervising. I don't want to speak for them, they're not here. I think developers tend to cut shortcut, and the cost of supervising a project, most of them see it as a unnecessary cost. So you don't need me to come and approve something. Every stage of a construction needs to be approved
by the architect.
By the architect and his team and the engineer.
So it's not just drawing, take the papers, go away. It's an ongoing process.
In fact, the pre-contract phase is only 25% of the work.
Oh, okay.
The post-contract phase is 75 because there's a lot of work. When you see before for you to be allowed to do a structure, number one, you start with the surveyor to get the coordinates right and know your area. Number two, you get the geotech expertise to give you the soil capacity, bearing capacity of that soil, to be told how many floors that thing can support. You get. After doing that, the structural engineer comes in heavily in the design phase to design for the load, because the building has live loads, that is us, and the dead loads.
All right.
And there's also wind load. All those aspects contribute to a building collapsing or a building staying in place. So after the engineer has been given the geotechnical report by the geotechnical engineer, the structural engineer goes ahead and designs for that load. So once the design has been done, the rebars are advised by the structural engineer. If I'm the design engineer of such a project, and then during construction phase you get done with me, the engineer who comes on board should first of all get in touch, do their design, submit to the relevant authorities so that everyone is in tandem. Because maybe the engineer said we use D12, D16.
The chuma, D12.
The chumas, yes, those are rebars. And then the engineer who comes on board is not aware, and the developer tries to shortchange things. You get?
Yeah.
So if you get it wrong from the foundation, you will never get it right up there.
Ish. Maze, you know, it's the first time I'm thinking of wind. Huh?
Wind load.
Yeah, Maze. Like, especially the higher you go, the more crucial the wind load is.
Yes.
Ish, you guys, I'm really gonna kill it at my next party. I'm really gonna be telling guys these things. Check, you know, the problem is the wind load, considering the wind load. So it's very expensive, especially if something goes wrong, right?
It is very expensive. You can see the cost of doing that.
Yeah.
Even the developer on their own, they cannot complete the recovery of the rubble and the missing personnel. It's a very expensive affair that does not warrant you to cut shortcut.
Okay.
And you see, you also realize if you don't follow the right channel, you will just pay for it in one way or another.
Yeah, there's no escaping.
There's no escaping. And you see, construction is the art of combining drawings, materials, and expertise personnel. If you omit one, you have nothing. Hawezi pika githeri bila mahindi na maharagwe ama kuna githeri ingine, I don't know. Just my thing.
Kuna ile con. So like how crazy is it to add those 4 floors? It would mean like maybe the building is too heavy.
Yes.
Theoretically speaking, even to any building, like if I am wacha niongeze 3 floors.
You see, the advantage of having the same team to be involved during design and construction is when you talk to your engineer or when you consult your consultants, you can tell them or inform them that I might like to add extra floors in future, so that that one is catered for in the design.
Oh, I get you.
Otherwise, with the saving, because someone will tell you chuma ni expensive bana, badala ya kuweka D20 tutumie D16, and now you want to add extra 4 levels. You can imagine this building collapsed while still under construction. So I'm not an engineer to speak for them. That was just dead load and wind load. There was no live load, which could have made it worse. Because you cannot say 1 + 1 is 11.
Yeah.
It just adds to 2. Basic. Yeah.
So how do architects calculate their prices? Because I feel like one of the reasons, there's a friend of mine who came and told me that he went to a certain architect, alafu jamaa akamchorea nyumba fulani, lakini venye akamwambia bei, hii jamaa akatoka mbio wengine za sakafuni.
Yeah.
So how do architects calculate how much they charge for, say, a drawing?
Architects and all the consultants in the built environment, or the mentioned consultants I've mentioned, the engineers, quantity surveyors, we are all under bodies. For example, us, we are under BORACS, Board of Registered Architects and Quantity Surveyors.
Oh, okay.
This is a government body that is enshrined in the Constitution. Like for us, we have CAP 525. It was revised on architect's fee the other day, but it's still in the Constitution.
All right.
So our fee is enshrined on CAP 525 for every development that an architect will charge you for. Some charge it cheaper. PPRA also affects how we want to do things.
What is PPRA?
Public Procurement and Public Procurement Act.
Okay.
Yes. Because most government projects are based on PPRA.
Okay.
Our CAP 525. But private developers, they can use CAP 525 and some bit of JBC, Joint Building Council, that was done in association with BORACS, AAK, and Engineering Board. Also on international projects, we can use RIBA, and RIBA is also is like a contract that is designed so that we don't take advantage of the developers, and also they don't take advantage of us. So it is enshrined in the Constitution on CAP 525.
So the Constitution describes the minimum, right?
Yes.
Minimum charge.
Yes, minimum charge.
But now, if you're a brand, or if you're really good at your work, you can charge more. But now you can't go below that minimum. Still.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So what do you look at, for example? Do you look at the cost of the building? What are the things top of mind that an architect looks at?
Before you charge your client?
Yeah.
Number one is our Bible, which is CAP 525.
Okay.
We use it as our Bible. Number two, a type of structure that you'll be doing will also determine the workload. Because the design phase is a rigorous step. You cannot just start by producing approval drawings. If, for example, you're doing a hospital, it's delicate. You'll need more personnel. You'll need more design hours time compared to just doing a bungalow.
Yeah.
Location of the project is also an aspect. The terrain. If the client is building on a flat land, it's easier to solve the problem of spatial analysis rather than on a slope site, which comes with a challenge which I believe most architects enjoy. But the actualization of such a project is an expensive affair. I don't know if I've answered.
No, yeah, I get you. So meaning,
yes.
Meaning, if I have a project, say in Luandeti,
yes,
it's not me just coming to tell you, Chora. We have to go on the ground. You check out some of the things there. If there's a specialist needed, you check out, like you recommend the specialist. Like that should be ideally the procedure, right?
Yes. If I'll use the word of my mentor, Architect Kamau Rugia, no site, no drawing. You cannot stamp. I cannot take a building from the US and I plant it in Kenya. Architecture entails a lot. Architecture entails climatic condition. We have day-to-day weather patterns that affect the design of a building, orientation, views. There are so many aspects that a site will inform you. You might be having an idea of having a site here, but just close by is a sewer plant. But you had no idea the location of your window and the wind pattern in that area, how it will affect your house. And you see that is a permanent structure that you are going to do there. So the authority doesn't want to move the sewer line. Emmanuel has a window on that location. So your house will be smelly throughout. There are so many aspects that contribute to that.
Ish, that is so interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why guys prefer shortcuts because of missing out. And then now unalipa huko mbele.
I'm thinking this guy. So you were saying you mentioned something. So with the building that collapsed in South Sea, you're saying the person whose certificate is on the line is the architect.
The architect, the engineer, all the professionals involved.
So everyone was involved in
yes, unfortunately.
What about those bodies like NEMA, and you said every stage has to get some sort of approval.
Yes. For me, in my opinion, now this one is as Chris. In my opinion, going forward, we should be able to hold those bodies to account, because some approval and some projects are approved based on corruption. We cannot justify. We don't know if someone was bribed. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you go to this body to apply for these approvals, there's something we call indemnity form. You indemnify them, and you know that is in the law. So you sign against your name that I indemnify the statutory body. So most of the time, you find whenever something has happened, the statutory bodies, they distance themselves in as much as they're taking accountability. So most of the time, you find the team leader, the project manager, the architect, the engineers are on the line. But when you go to any site, there should be a site instruction book. For a cast slab to be cast until the 16th floor, there has to be so many instructions, but 16 slabs approved. The number of column per that floor approved by the engineer. There are so many things that you need to do, by the way. The process of construction looks simple on the face value, but you see, when you cast a slab, the engineer will request for cube tests. When you do the same for a column and a beam, they will request for the same from...
Cube test is like a sample from that?
Sample, yes, of the material. It is material to the design requirement standard. How you do your riba works, hizo chuma venye unafunga, an engineer will either approve or disapprove. And once they have approved or disapproved, they shall append their signatures, and then the architect shall close by appending their signature too. So there are so many things that will be looked into in this South Sea building, including those architects' instruction, inspection. You cannot say, I sent the architect a photo of this slab and the architect said, go ahead and cast. I sent the engineer the same. No.
It has to be that cube thing.
That is one, and they have to be on site. You see, some developers are looking at it. The cost of bringing this person to site is cost X. I can save it by buying some ribas here and there. And then something else that also happened is Kenyans will behave like we know a little bit too much. I've consulted Bashir as my consultant. He has given me everything. After receiving, I feel like I can save something by consulting Kisiangani, who is my friend but also a consultant. And then you see those opinions, they also matter. And then after consulting you, I go like, person X, you did a 14-story building pale Kino. I'm doing a 14-story building pale South Sea. Anakwambia, mimi nilitumia D16. And you now, the engineer has described D20 based on the bearing capacity of the soil and your structure that you are doing. But because now we know it all, my brother who did a building in wherever place, I want to take that building and stamp it here.
Oh yeah, I get you.
So copy and paste.
Copy and paste.
But it's
the environment
different.
is not the same. The bearing capacity of the soil is not the same. You get?
Yeah. So, what do you think happened in pipeline, Manze? Ama nimeenda sana. Okay, let me say this. In such areas like like some of these weird areas where unaona building, Manze, it's dark. You guys, some of this, and it's not even there only. Like they're all over Nairobi, Kitengela. If you look at some of the areas, the way they're coming up, you're like, yo, this is crazy. But I guess it's what you're mentioning, like some of these shortcuts that we are jumping on.
Number one is shortcut. That one, I put it mostly on our authorities.
Okay.
Because we have zoning and planning authorities in Kenya. Every region requires a certain, we call it setback. If a building is going a certain height, the space in between them should be wide enough to allow daylighting. That is sun and
Oh, it's
natural
actually in the nini.
light. It is in the cap 5 to 5.
Oh, okay,
It is enshrined in the constitution.
Natural right.
It is yes, it is enshrined in our architect's manual. Like a proper architect, a proper planner, they will tell you. There's setback, there's spacing in between line, there's the size of windows, there's how deep a room can be. You cannot have a room that is 18 meters deep with a window small. Because there's a calculation that you need to take.
Oh,
the
there's a
height
ratio.
of that window, yes, there's a ratio. The height of that window and how sunlight accesses in.
Okay.
Yes. There are so many aspects that they should be considered while doing high-rise building. Not just high-rise building, any structure. Even safety, even when in future you want to upgrade on the sewer lines, the waterways, that's why you are told do this certain back of setbacks. The window location next to the perimeter. You cannot have your window on your perimeter or your fence.
Okay.
Because what if your neighbor decides to do the same? There'll be no lighting.
Mtakuwa mnaangaliana.
Exactly. Unfortunately, we see such cases in Nairobi mostly, and you wonder who approved this. Was there even a team leader?
Yeah.
Was there an architect? Was there an authority to oversee this?
Even the spacing is crazy. I think I've seen apartments where your balcony and the wall, like your balcony is facing the wall.
Yes. Of another
building. So at Okitoka, you're not getting any sunlight. You're not, literally, it's
It
up
beats the
there.
purpose of having a balcony.
Yeah.
there.
And then you find people now, you're investing. I saw a sad story of, I think there's an old couple that decided, you know what, they want to retire, so they decided to buy a 3B, I think, in Kilimani. And for a while, everything was polite, everything was nice, until now the developer of the next building erected now another building, and now the Akeja, there's no natural sunlight. So they're saying haezi ota jua, like the living conditions there are very, as you say, it's a sick building.
Yeah.
You're not getting any sunlight, you're
Even
not getting
your
any
privacy.
natural. Yeah, there's no privacy. And the sad thing is it's your retirement home. You know, you've invested a lot of money in buying this house because you want to spend the rest of your days living there. And then now another building is approved that is just, you know, in the way.
The regulation is the biggest culprit here. Because the Kilimani of 20 years ago and the Kilimani of now is not the same.
Yeah, in fact, I wanted to bring that up. Also, if you're developing an area like Kilimani, you have to think of also the sewer system and stuff like that.
Yes. Matter sewer system is a very complex thing. Something that I just learned through my small experience is anytime you do such a big structure, your mechanical engineer will calculate for the effluent from your building. And you will pay. Why are you paying if the sewer is not able to sustain that? So the regulation has a fault on that. You cannot put that purely on the developer because it is in millions. When you look at those approval permits, those ones that go to sewer and stuff.
Oh, there's a payment for accessing.
Yes.
You don't just wekelea pipe in a connect.
No, you have to pay for it.
Ah.
So if you're paying for it, I don't know what's their plan, because now that is beyond you as the developer. And if they are approving you can add your sewer there, and they know very well the capacity of that sewer cannot be sustained by the development that are mushrooming up, then there's a problem with the regulation authority.
Oh, okay. So what do you think a city like ours should do? Should we say, okay, this part of the city has problems, let's go start afresh somewhere else? Maybe that's the best situation.
A good question that is. Zoning and planning is good. Nairobi was zoned and planned by our colonizers, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Some of the regulations that are being revised are a result of urbanization, because Kenya as a country, it can never grow any bigger, but the population keeps growing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, whether we like it or not, we only have room to go up. So our planners needs to think outside the box, and that's why you see our neighboring country like Ethiopia, the Egypt, they did a new city.
Ethiopia did a new city?
It is Egypt, rather.
Oh, Egypt.
Egypt, they did a new city.
Oh, okay.
You even, for other reasons, rather than just population, shifting of some, let's say, administration staff every to a new city is easier than moving people.
Yeah.
Because that serves more of a plug-in. You are taking the government offices, all of them, to, let's say, Konza City or...
That's what they did in Dar, right?
Yeah, that's what they did. Changing Dodoma as a capital city because of administration. And you see Dodoma grew as a result of that.
Yeah.
Because the workers will need housing, there, good infrastructure and water views. Because you realize the planning of Nairobi has been overtaken by events. It's a very beautiful city here we have. But unfortunately, when you realize we're trying to correct mistakes that have been done, and then you look at areas like Kitengela, Rongai, Ngong, how they are growing. Plots, demarcated, an eighth, Jenga. And you see urbanization sprawls, unfortunately. So when a town like Kite grows, you find yourself in your small bungalow, now in the middle of the city. How do you curb that? How do you zone that?
Are there zones?
There should be zones.
Oh, they should be.
They are actually there. But with the urbanization and the population pressure that keeps coming, they should be revised.
Oh, okay.
Periodically.
Konza City looks like it's planned nicely from what I'm seeing right now.
Well planned. Yeah.
They even have have you been catching up with
Sadly,
what they're doing
I
there?
haven't been there.
They have bus stops, ways of getting rid of waste management. I don't know how big their CO system is looking like, but it looks like a modernly planned city.
Yes. That is now on urbanization, urban planning. That is where we are headed as the world. As a country, we are catching up. I can tell you for free, our construction industry is booming and is resilient enough. We've been having so many cases of those buildings that are collapsing, but you see the rate has been going down because with so much vigorous urbanization, more expertise is allowed into, more technology comes into place. So a city like Konza, you realize their sewer system might not be big enough right now, but we say a good designer designs for the future. Today we are 2, tomorrow will be 10. This small will never be enough, but we have room to expand. Even when you look at the channels, because you realize all the services of Konza City, they are underground. It's a tunnel like one you watch in the movies in the US. You can literally walk inside there.
Exactly, yeah.
So those are the aspects that come with urban planning. And we have very good urban planners. Kenyans are literate.
Very well read.
Very well read. And you see now we are a global village. Information is out there. So you can expand your knowledge. It's just that sometimes we become gluttonous and we want to cut shortcuts. That is the biggest problem that is affecting us currently in our city. Yes.
Let me shout out, Bashir, hold that thought for just a second. Let me shout out some people who are listening to us online. There's somebody who's saying is watching live from Kakamega, akasema Komonga. Adopsho Kamakawa, that is Ositu. Welcome our honest to God conversation. Chris Ndenga, West Pokot is listening to you, big man.
Thank you.
Dennis Mutevi ako pale Busia anasema wako locked, the whole of Busia wako locked. Christian Desire is in the building, and Job is also in the building, all the way from Addis. He's listening in. Sharad Manu and Bashir all the way from Karen, enjoying the convo. Nikipiga night shift hapa, that is operation messages. Ambrose is saying teacher on duty ndio anaingia. Osito anasema ask Chris what an architect does apart from drawing buildings. Do they also do roads and such amenities?
In other countries, yes. In Kenya, no. We do other things apart from you see, building is a very big term, or is a broad term to say. We do residential, we do mixed use development, we do commercials, we also do institutions, hospitals.
Roads is more or less of an engineer, civil engineer,
but a good design requires a good architects. In international level, they are good architects, but
is AI gonna replace you guys?
Good question. AI is going to replace architects who are not adapting. AI is such a versatile tool. It's an enabler for us. AI is enabling us to make work easier, because you realize before there was computers, architects used to draw by hand, so it was a tedious process. Right now computers are there, they enable us. AI, mostly for me, I've used it in project management. It enables you to keep your data in time. You know which contractor has delivered this, which one has not delivered this. It is a personal assistant. Even in the concept realization process, once you do your sketch and share with a good AI, it enables you to do the design. I'm mostly inclined towards sustainability as an architect. So you realize the aspect of sustainability, smart building, AI is coming there to support us. You cannot replace an architect, but AI will replace the architects who are not adapting.
Okay.
Yes, you get.
Yeah, I get you.
I wanted to ask, there are certain designs, and I think hii mtakubaliana na mimi that like very Kenyan. Like no matter which town you go to, there's this design of it's like a shop and then plot in nyuma. Like who came up with that? That design seems, I think, like every village has that.
Every ushago.
Hiyo ni ya ushago. Like where is it something you guys talk about, ama ni mimi peke yangu nime notice like that design?
No. Actually, you see, using a good term, we just call those ones mixed use developments, whereby if your development is next to the road or a big center, let me stop saying a city.
Center.
Center. Yes, you target that maybe I can have a butcher here, or I can rent it out so that there's a shopping center. But because the development is moving inwardly, so we call it hierarchy of spacing, or privacy hierarchy. Here is very noisy where the road is, where you're targeting people who are passing. And then as you move back, you move towards privacy, whereby you can have a quiet place where people can rent. That is a mixed use. We've just modernized it because of, we call it limited land to go up. You realize even there at Madaraka, below is a bar.
Exactly.
And
Upstairs residential.
Upstairs residential. If you just put it on sprawling, as the master architect Frank Lloyd Wright said, he used to support sprawling over going up. So it's like just taking those floors and putting them.
So easy floors, your shop says you go to up.
It's just the same concept. It happens even in urban centers.
Okay.
It's not a bad concept, only that some those designs are fundi oriented. And there's no architect involved there. Fundi, I built here, I built that.
Blessings shop.
Yes.
Do they draw?
They don't draw.
They just
draw
construct.
Hapo kwa ground. Tunapima.
Ama wanachora sketch.
Some draw sketch. I've met good fundis that are good with that. Because architecture is more of apprenticeship. You learn on the go, but there are some fundamentals of architecture you can't just assume because I did this, I can do that.
Oh, okay.
Even me, I'm not a know-it-all as an architect. I'm learning. I learn every day.
Geoffrey Ngugi, is asking, but with proper public transport, do we really still need to go up in terms of development?
An interesting question that is. Sprawling is allowed. I was of the idea if SGR reaches Naivasha town and I'm working here at Ngong Road, just take SGR and I stay in Naivasha.
30 minutes here.
30 minutes, I'm in town, I can do my stuff and move on. But there are also other aspects of urbanization and water views. So as much as that point is correct, it cannot also be wrong to go up, because Kenya cannot grow any bigger. So you can sprawl as far as you can. You realize even as a country, we've not utilized 70% of our lands. We have vast lands that are arid and semi-arids.
So perfect for building.
You can do proper building with the proper mechanical engineering expertise and proper ventilation systems that people can stay there. But baby steps, we are getting there.
Slowly but surely. Why did we drop our ways of building? Like say in the village, we used to build mud houses. All right, I'm sure you're familiar with cob houses.
Yes.
Which some guys in the West build. But us guys, unapata uko Lwandeti, you have a lot of the ability to put up the mud house, but in a modern way. But now we ditched that using local materials, and now I'm shipping in stones from Thika to Amasoma, far off Kware, to my farm in Shags. When you're thinking of architecture, these are, I don't know if he's a German architect, but of Senegalese, West African. Like he's West African, but he's based in Germany. So he built some school. Is that his name? Yeah. So he built some school with local materials, and it looks amazing.
Yes.
Do you think we're gonna get there even with our local architects?
Yes, we are going to get there. There's a book that I've been reading. It's called The Four Agreements. We are a product of domestication. What we've been taught to learn. Right now, the in thing is stone.
Yes.
At some point, the in thing in construction is stone.
Okay.
Someone came up and convinced you that is the right material to use.
Yeah.
That is also construction material. Is a topic that Kenyans should know, which we are not aware of. Rammed earth is very good. I have a former colleague who did rammed earth as a dissertation.
Okay.
And when you go online and search rammed earth, basically nyumba ya matope, even the white people are doing.
Yeah.
We were just sold. You see the way we were sold the idea of religion, and we bought is the same way we've been sold that idea in construction. So people ditching our ways of doing things to learning the modern is not modern per se. Things that came with the white man or the mzungus is a trend. Let me tell you, those houses that are done in Ushago, grass thatched, mud houses, their thermal capacities are so good than the stone houses, the concrete ones we are doing now. They had their own advantages. You are coming from the hot sun. When you enter your house, cool and everything. The fact that you're learning different construction material should just enable us to use our material in a best way. Teach me how to do things the right way, not to ditch what I do, because like I told you, we are trying to stamp stuff all over the world. But you can do a proper mud house that will outlive that concrete jungle that we are doing. So we shall get there eventually. Architects like me, others, there's architect Matole, who was my tutor. There's Mutua. They went to to Cambridge, Harvard, studied all that, and then you come back with the lessons, not their materials.
Okay.
Why they opted to use that material? You realize in the US they majorly use wood, timber.
Yeah.
Why? Because it favors them there, the availability. That is a sustainable architecture.
They have
for
a
them.
lot of timber there.
A lot of timber, and also the weather patterns that affect their country and stuff. So when you come to Kenya, we've mainly adopted some material because number one, it's lazy, it's easy to use, and it's a modern thing that it has been studied somewhere else. But you can study that mud house and do a proper mud house, a proper thatched house.
Modern.
Modern.
I've seen very modern looking rammed earth houses lived in by these Hollywood superstars.
I tell you.
Yeah. But also you, for example, like you, as an architect, your craft is based on what I want.
Yes.
Sindio?
Mine is to actualize your dream.
So if we don't dream that, there won't be any need for you to draw for me a rammed earth house.
Yes, because I'll be imposing my design to you. I'm not supposed to do that. Yes. I'm supposed to listen to you, take your brief, and actualize it. Yes.
Personally, I think my design for my house in Ocha itakuwa a bit local. More mixed with this rammed earth bricks though.
Yes.
I don't want to mention the company that makes them here. Okay. But those, you ram the bricks into a block, then you arrange it and come up with a building. It's just basically rammed earth, more or less. Kostaki kusema makiga bricks because itakuwa weird sana nikisema hapa. But thank you so much for coming through. We still have you for a bit of a while. Okay, we hang out with Chris Ndenga, who's a friend of mine, but also a very serious architect. In fact, leo namsikia in a different light. Mpata naye hapo mada tu anacheka. Kumbe jamaa mazee.
He's a very serious man.
Yeah, very, very serious man. And thank you for making the time. Station is Radio Generation. The show is The Wind Down. And today we have a special guest in the building, architect Chris Ndenga, who has decided to sacrifice his time on a Monday to come and spend time with us. And it's a very informative conversation.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, it's clear that the construction industry in Kenya is going through some sort of boom. You know, everywhere I go to Maze, there's always, even there's this joke that like Nairobi is just sounding like a construction site. Like every time I open my window, there's just tunajua sauti ya chuma. Like there's just a lot of construction happening. Sadly, you know, lives have been lost because of some of the shortcuts that people are trying to take when it comes to construction, trying to save money. Then as you've seen, yes, as you've seen now, it's starting to become an issue. Now his profession is now being put on the line. Now people are actually trying to figure out whose fault was it. So we're having that discussion with one Mr. Chris. So we're just talking about how the different sort of elements that come when it comes to constructing a building. Like he's mentioned, a lot of professionals are coming together to make one thing a reality. Yeah, that's true. If you've missed out on that convo by the earlier, it's live on YouTube, Radio Gen KE. If you go there, you'll find our open mic conversation. Now I just have some personal questions, so to speak. Like why is the flat roof design very popular all of a sudden?
Thank you. That's a good question. Allow me to mention brands.
Okay.
Like when Gucci came, suddenly everyone wants a Gucci. When the loafers came, everyone wanted one. Just like that, also in construction, there's a trend in design. Flat roof originated from multi-purpose use. It's a borrowed concept. It's not our original design concept. But when it became an in thing, certainly everyone.
I saw it a lot in the Mediterranean, right?
Yes. But when you use the word Mediterranean in architecture, is also an architecture style.
Oh yeah, I get you.
Flat roof in architecture is more of a, for lack of a better word, modern.
Okay.
Contemporary. That is the word. Yes, but Mediterranean is also a type of architecture.
Oh yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Very interesting. In our discussion with you seem to all have liked Mediterranean, though you slowly metamorphosized to contemporary architecture. But yes, flat roof is a foreign design that we borrowed.
What are the
advantages of flat roof are many.
Okay, there's the space aspect. Is it practical for our conditions here?
Very practical. Except for when not done properly, there's something we call thermal mass, whereby during the day, heat doesn't get into the house, but the slab absorbs. Then during the night, you find yourself sweating. You're wondering what is happening. Because now the slab had absorbed so much heat and now it's dissipating. To you.
You know, my bro has a flat roof house and paka alibai fan. Alinipigia kanime, Manu, we una sweatingi sana kwako. Kiteko ni kuna joto aje. So that's what happens.
That is what happens. But flat roof can work anywhere well when done properly. There's never a flat roof. Even that slab, you have to do a screed that slopes the water. Otherwise, the problems of flat roof is what now Kenyans are running away from. But again, that is all coming from shortcuts. You don't want to use the right people. You don't want to use the right material. Yes, a flat roof slab is slightly expensive than just a standard slab because you have to use waterproofing elements in concrete. You have to also add some waterproofing aspects. You saw what we were doing there in the house that I used to stay. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they say this other butterfly roof design was supposed to be for places where it's snowing.
Where it's snowing, true.
And here it's not snowing.
Here it's not snowing.
Ni mvua tu. But so it's also advantageous in that regard.
It's also advantageous for us. It's cheap because you see, designing for such a roof is minimum load.
The butterfly roof
is a minimum load.
What do you mean by minimum load?
I'm not a structural engineer, but I'll try and use the basic terms possible. It's just taking the weather vagaries, that is rain and wind, and its own load.
All right.
And you see, using a roof that is butterfly, whether shingles, mabati, corrugated iron sheet, it's lighter than having a slab.
I get you.
And then imposing live loads later on to where I can see the moon and stuff. So it's easier to do a butterfly.
Unajenga flat roof ama unajenga gani?
Butterfly again.
Nile inakaa hivi.
That's the most common.
That's the most common.
Flat roof ni the roof ni slab.
Yes.
But that's more expensive, because slab kukoroga pia it's
right now I think the cost evens up.
Yeah. So mabati ama slab.
Most people gravitate towards gable because they think it's cheaper. But if you're doing gable and Bashir, I'm sure you'd want to do some we call it shingles, Dekra. The cost of doing that is just
insane,
nearly equal to slab.
Hang out here with Bashir, and we also have a special guest in the building who I've told him Mazeto akwe to our resident architect, like why should we suffer na jamaa kwa hapa ama unaonaje hivi?
No, mimi nakubaliana, bora to make sure tunakubaliana unaita chapter 5
cap 5 to 5
cap 5 to 5 so tutaangalia cap 5 to 5 inamaanisha aje. I think as long as tumemni cap 5 to 5 atakuwa anakuja.
But I think itaweza sana mno. Chris is also a very very good friend of mine. Najaribu kumconvince tuone na Elwandeti nimpatie tu za macho twende tu angalie shamba because you see he's like I'm sure hata hizo za macho itabidi niuze gari moja ndio nifikie hizo macho.
Alisema no site no drawing.
No site no drawing.
You are reading for me a very important quote which I feel like you should read kabla tuishiwe na masaa hapa hivi. Na tuambie ni nani aliandika hii quote.
It's an interesting one because of the current affairs in the built environment. Actually we have a professional group. This one is for architects.
Okay.
This one is by architect Otieno Allan. He's a very senior architect that I respect.
Shout out.
The issue is not the law or lack of it. The issue is the people calling themselves professionals and other officers. You can have as many laws in whatever nature and type as you want. But in an environment where many professionals are inherently corrupt, lazy, inept, ignorant, and where the desire to do the right thing is lacking, building will always collapse and people will continue to die.
So the issue is the
personnel. The professionals, us, me, I'm one of them. The authority, not the authority law, the personnel in authority.
Okay.
Yes.
But also me, the person looking for those services,
the developer, yes.
I shouldn't start out in my mind thinking of shortcuts.
True. That is very true. You see, I understand why the architect came up with that quote. Because if I refuse to do shortcut for you, you move to architect X, they refuse. You move to architect Y, they refuse. Eventually, you're going to learn the importance of the professionals. Yes.
Oh, okay. You're practicing yako yote.
Yes.
In fact, if someone wants to reach out to Bona Chris, anamtafuta tu hapo Septual Consultants, my guy. All right? Septual Consultants is the name of his company, and also his handle on Instagram, or rather all platforms, ni hapo tu Septual. So I'm sure if you're interested in consulting or getting some work from this brother, you can check it out. Septual Consultants is where he's at. Chris, where are you seeing architecture going 2026? You think our construction boom is going to be continuing as we go along?
Yes, a lot. Given that the order of the day is they want to get to Singapore.
Oh, okay.
The current affair is affordable housing program.
Okay.
Kenya is a construction site. Initially, we used to say Nairobi. Right now, you move to Luandeti there, see some tall structures mushrooming.
True.
It's gonna boom because fortunately, when you are talking about development, when you talk about economic boom, you must not leave behind infrastructure development. Built environment is a direct machine that steers the economy of any country. See, every country, even Singapore, when you Google Singapore, you see infrastructures. You Google Dubai, Burj Khalifa. So built environment is gonna boom in Kenya. It has been resilient. There have been few setbacks here and there, but we are getting there.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, man. And I guess the message of the day is avoid them shortcuts. Ukipiga shortcut mazee uko mbele mazee utakipata pata. Yeah,
sijui nani alipiga shortcut na hii mic yangu.
Mic yako mazee inakufanyia maneno hiyo. Itabidi hizo maneno umeongeza.
Nikinyamaza
salary yako. Check uliongea mara ngapi hiyo day architect? No, it says here you talked 1288.
Nikinyamaza inanyamaza.
Sina na mic. No, but Chris Mazee, thank you so much for coming through. Hopefully we're going to have you back here. The convo we've had with Chris is online. Radio Gen KE is the name of our YouTube channel. Go check it out over there and spread the word. Huyo jamaa mwenye kwa karibu kujenga na anatumia sijui cousin wa uncle wa bro wake. Mazee mwambie ache mchezo. Tuko 2026 mazee. Shortcuts are very, very long. Get services of people like Chris and the very, very professional architecture fraternity. Shout out to them. Watumie shout out zetu kutoka hapa the wind down, and I hope I'll see you again.
Thank you. Maybe can just culminate by saying a safe building is not a luxury. It's a right. Cheap shortcuts gonna cost life. Let's build responsibly. Let's chase safety over profits. Thank you.